Power is everywhere, but who truly holds it? When you look at the world, what do you see? Is it kings? Billionaires? Governments? Algorithms? Power moves through society like a silent river. Often invisible. Always shaping the landscape beneath it. And back in 1938, British philosopher Bertrand Russell laid out a framework that remains just as relevant today. In his book Power, A New Social Analysis, he wrote, "There are many ways in which different societies differ in relation to power." Today, we are going to break down exactly what he meant, in language that fits both the past and the present. But as we do, you may realize, the structures that shaped empires long ago, still govern our lives today. Stay with me until the end of this video, because by the time we finish, you'll see your world through an entirely new lens. Chapter 1, The Degree of Power. Russell begins with a simple but profound observation. They differ, to begin with, in the degree of power possessed by individuals or organizations. Imagine a small medieval village. A local lord may have had power over his serfs. But his reach was limited. Now, contrast that with a modern government. A modern state can freeze your bank accounts, track your location via smartphone, regulate what you can and cannot say in public. Russell called this the increase of organization. The rise of bureaucracies. Of vast corporations. Of international systems like the United Nations. Today, we live in what some call a hyper-organized society. The question we must ask ourselves is, how comfortable are we with that degree of power? Where is the line between order and control? And how does this shape the behavior of individuals within the system? In hyper-organized societies, individual freedom often becomes a balancing act, between the security provided by large organizations and the restrictions imposed by them. From ancient times to today, this remains a core tension in human life. Chapter 2, The Kind of Organization That Dominates. Russell writes, "They differ, again, as regards the kind of organization that is most influential." What does he mean? Different societies empower different kinds of institutions. He lists 3 types. Military despotism, rule through force. Theocracy, rule through religious authority. Plutocracy, rule through wealth. Let's break these down. Military despotism. Imagine ancient Sparta. Or modern North Korea. The army is the core of the state. Citizens serve the state through obedience and military service. Force, discipline, fear. Theocracy. Think of Iran today. Or medieval Europe during the reign of the Catholic Church. The rulers derive their legitimacy from God, or from religious doctrine. The laws are not just civil. They are sacred. Plutocracy. Now, consider the modern West. Corporations. Billionaires. The stock market. While we may live in democracies, the influence of money is undeniable. Lobbying. Campaign donations. Media ownership. Russell suggests that these structures create fundamentally different societies. One ruled by guns. One ruled by gods. One ruled by gold. Vocabulary. Oligarchy, rule by a small group of powerful individuals. Technocracy, rule by experts or technical elites. Despotism, absolute power exercised cruelly or oppressively. And now, a question for you. Which kind of organization dominates your society? Is it the military? The church? The wealthy elite? Or perhaps, some hidden combination of all 3? And how does that dominance affect your daily life? In a plutocracy, wealth dictates opportunity. In a theocracy, belief dictates behavior. In a military despotism, obedience dictates survival. No system is entirely free of consequences. Chapter 3, The Way Power is Acquired. Russell's third observation is perhaps the most subtle. They differ, thirdly, through diversity in the ways of acquiring power. It's not just about who holds power. It's about how they got it. Here are the four main paths he outlines. Hereditary kingship. Ecclesiastical ascent. Democracy. War and conquest. Hereditary kingship. Power passed down through family lines. A king is not elected. He is born to rule. This creates what Russell calls a particular kind of eminent man. Refined. Entitled. Sometimes detached from the common people. Ecclesiastical power. Religious leaders rise through devotion, persuasion, and theological knowledge. Think of popes. Imams. Grand rabbis. They must earn respect not through wealth or force, but through spiritual authority. Democracy. Here, power comes through elections. A leader must win the trust of the people. But Russell warns, democracy produces its own challenges. Leaders must be persuasive. Charismatic. Sometimes manipulative. The pressure to maintain public image can overshadow the pressure to govern wisely. War and conquest. Finally, there is the oldest method of all. Conquest. A general seizes power through force. Through strategy. Through ruthlessness. This produces leaders forged in conflict, decisive, bold, but often unyielding. These four pathways produce very different rulers. A king. A priest. A president. A general. Each embodies different virtues. And different vices. No method is perfect. But understanding the route a leader took to power, helps us understand the nature of that power. Final reflection. By now, you may be wondering, why does this matter today? Because while the names and faces have changed, the structures Russell described still shape our world. The degree of power held by institutions has only grown. The kind of organizations that dominate us are evolving. Military. Religious. Corporate. And the ways power is acquired? Still hereditary. Still ecclesiastical. Still democratic. Still through war. When you scroll through the news, ask yourself, who holds power here? What kind of organization backs them? And how did they acquire it? Becoming aware of power is the first step to understanding your own place in society. Russell's quiet reminder echoes across the years. Power is everywhere. But it wears many faces. Thank you for reflecting with me today. If this made you think differently, subscribe, like, and share this with someone else who wonders about the hidden rules of the world.